I'm not really expecting them to compete for much of a, really much of anything. I think it's going to be more of developing, especially once the whole Damian Lillard trade situation gets taken care of. I'm really interested to see what they actually get back in the trade. It's just a really kind of period of limbo. You just don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what you're getting back. You don't know how that trade is going to look. You don't know what the true dynamic of the team is going to look like moving forward into this next season right now. So that's the only thing that I would point out. It's, we just got to wait and see.
Yeah, definitely not. It's they kind of missed their window. Me personally, I feel like they kind of tried the Dame and CJ core a little bit too long. They had some success of going to the conference finals against Golden State. I mean, sure enough, nobody really had a chance against that team. I mean, you had a chance. The Rockets almost did it, but sure enough, nobody really could. If you were going to win, you had to be clicking on all cylinders, and they showed that they were not on that level. So after that year, I feel like they kind of ran his course a little bit too long. They kept the same core, didn't make many changes. That's where a lot of the talk about, Dame needs to leave really, you know, were really rampant and became a thing. And since then, they haven't really done much to improve the roster. He's been vocal. He's let them know about, he wants to make improvements. He wants to try to go for this, and it just didn't happen. So ultimately, this is where we've come to. Dame, rightfully so, I mean, I believe deserves to, have a desire to want to be in a winning situation, especially when he's, publicly, said that he's not going anywhere. I just think reality finally set in and he realized that what his goals and what he wanted was not going to be achieved in Portland. So, you have to go through this, rebuilding process. And you brought up a good point of not only focusing on what Dame will go out, Dame going out, but also what Portland can, get back in return. And hopefully they focus on, draft picks. You're not going to get a player on Dame's level. You're just not, even three players are probably not going to equate to what Dame is. And with the trade packages that, a lot of teams have out there, a lot of teams may not be willing to trade for Dame, knowing that his destination or his preferred destination is Miami. And even looking at what Miami can give you in return, most of it's just mostly guards. They're not giving up Jimmy. They're not giving up Bam. You could get maybe like a Tyler Hero, a Kyle Lowry,
No, you're
Duncan
good.
Robinson, or,
Yeah,
you know,
Robinson.
Caleb Martin, somebody like that. You're not going to get, return value for him. So I feel like picks and, ultimately, I think that Miami is their only option if they're looking for things they want to get back. Because if you look at Philly, what are you going to get back? James Harden? You don't want that. James Harden doesn't want that. So ultimately, I feel like this stoppage will come to an end and he'll be moved somewhere. I think before the season, or unless they're really, putting their foot in the ground, they may wait till, sometime during the season. But I just feel like ultimately it's going to hurt their team if they don't make the right choice or if they wait too long as far as, trying so hard to get a player back for Dame's caliber when I just don't think that deal is out there for them. So this is another critical test of what the front office is going to do and, making a good decision because they've proven that they haven't really been willing to do what it takes to, you know, take that next leap as far as winning a championship.
Yeah, no, I think you made some good points there about their front office. It's tough because when you have a superstar like on Damian Lillard's level, right? It's kind of like having a dollar, right? You can get 4 quarters back. Let's say I give you a dollar, you give me 4 quarters back. I got the equivalent of a dollar, right? In terms of what that money equates to, but breaking up the dollar into quarters in the NBA, getting the pieces back, even though you're giving up a superstar, getting pieces back that equate to technically, in trade talk, it's equivalent value. It still doesn't hit the same because you just don't have that superstar. You know what I mean? So, and usually in trades, the team that gets the superstar tends to win the trade, you know, for the most part. So you just try not to get pennies on the dollar when with the trade, but at the same time, it's you know you got. I think at this point you just got to trade Dame. I think that's the only way to move forward with the Portland Trailblazers. Keeping them right now, I don't think that's the best way moving forward. Not saying that he would, you know, do anything crazy. I feel like he's going to be a professional. He's always been that way throughout his career. He's going to take care of business and do what he has to do. And I think he's going to be even a great locker room guy to the young guys there. But I just feel like it's just time to move on. So that's a challenge because you don't want to get pennies on the dollar with the trade, but you also want to go on and move on. So
I I will
we'll
say
see.
this: unless you are going to get a haul for something like how you got with Brooklyn with Mikal Bridges and Dorian Finney-Smith, Cam Johnson, those guys. That's the only way I could really see, a trade like that being acceptable. But even then, it wasn't just KD. You also had Kyrie. So you had a lot more uh asking you were able to get a lot more for those two superstars to where now, you were able to basically build a starting five. I didn't even mention Spencer Dinwiddie that you were able to get back in return. But with just one superstar and with the options being very limited and what, Miami has compared to the field, like you're not going to get that. So um I just feel like go for draft compensation, let these guys get reps. That's ultimately the only thing that's going to make them better. I don't think they should. I hope they're not thinking, and I don't think they're thinking that anything they get back is going to put them in a competitive position now. So hopefully they make the right decision. I would hate for Portland to just, you know, be irrelevant for the next 10 years or 20 years, when you have an exciting young phenom like, Scoot and all the young players we just mentioned. Jeremy Grant is a guy that they just re-signed before trading Dame. His career is, still very much relying on. I'm pretty sure he wants to be in a winning situation. So
Yeah.
hopefully they can make a reasonable decision.